Jake Peters here from PS This Is Awesome. Today is Monday, June 10th, and we are going to record the podcast a day late this week because we are getting ready to watch Sony's E3 press conference, which we are both very, very excited about. They're going to reveal the PS4, and we are just doing a quick video to kind of throw out some predictions that we might have for the event that's going to take place today. Now, the first prediction that I have, personally, and I may have mentioned this on the last show, is that I believe that there's going to be multiple SKUs of the PS4. I think that there's going to be at least one that's going to be in the... because we've also made price predictions in the past, and a popular price point that's been tossed around is the $399 price point, $399 US. And I think that there's going to be at least one SKU that's $399, and then maybe one SKU that's on either side of it. So maybe one that's $399, or sorry, one that's $299, one that's $399, and one that's $499. So that's my first prediction.
All right. So you just heard what Jake had to say. My name's Fred Oakman. I am also a co-host of PS This Is Awesome. Jake and I have this podcast. We talk a lot about whatever. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is the press conference is tonight at E3, and we're going to see some awesome stuff. It hasn't happened yet, so when it comes to the rollout of the system, I actually said, and I'm probably wrong, but I actually predicted that there will be one PS4 with no variations. It's going to be one set, a model, unlike what they've done in the past. Kind of like what they did with the PS2, but you're going to see it with the PS4, and not all. Here's a 40 gig, here's a 60 gig, like we saw in the PS3. I think it's just going to be one set model. I think we're going to hear that tonight. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to stick to my guns. And so that will be my first prediction of what is going to be shown at the E3 press conference.
Now, for my second prediction, I have a set piece here. This, at my house, is what I like to call the face vase. And we call it that because no matter how often you rotate it, you're always looking at a face. And this, to me, is kind of symbolic of the many faces of the different games that Sony is going to announce tonight. I think that they're going to have all sorts of different games all across the board, and they're going to be talking about a ton of launch titles. I expect to see more about Destiny. I think that it's going to be very, not exclusive to the PS4, but I think that there's going to be a lot of exclusive content to the PS4, a lot like what EA is doing with Microsoft in terms of Call of Duty and stuff like that. I think that we're going to see more on knack, but I'm also thinking that we're going to see a lot about games that we haven't even seen yet. Maybe, I don't know, a Ratchet and Clank or a Jak and Daxter. Maybe we'll see Uncharted 4. So that is my prediction. I feel like that even though they're planning on showing the console, they're still going to focus a lot on games.
All right, I'm back. And you just heard what Jake said about all the games that he thinks that are going to be unraveled here at the press conference. Now, folks, I don't know if you've watched anything yet today as far as the E3 conference, but Ubisoft revealed a game called The Division, and it looked like when they were playing the demo or whatever it was, they were using a new PS4 controller. I'm not sure if they were or not. But I think we're going to see more of The Division for the Sony release, because that game looks amazing. As far as other games, Jake said maybe an Uncharted 4 reveal. I think definitely an Uncharted 4 reveal. And if it doesn't happen now, when's it going to happen? I know they're going to show more of The Last of Us. It's already been said. I think Destiny, yeah, there's going to be some of that. There's going to be a lot of games, like Jake said. We're not going to have any idea what they are until we see them. There could be... I would like to think some more IPs. They're going to talk about the new PlayStation Plus maybe and how it rolls into the new PlayStation 4. Definitely going to be some talk of that. I'm not quite sure. It's kind of hard when Jake's not here to bounce things off him. But as far as what I want to see game-wise, I don't really care about anything except I just want a teaser for Uncharted 4. That's it. Just give me a little teaser. Surprise us. Make the place go nuts. You can do it, Sony. I'm counting on you.
Okay, so I already mentioned earlier that I think that there is going to be, and we've agreed upon it in the podcast, that there's going to be at least one SKU of the PS4 will be $399 US. I think that they will announce in their press conference today what the price is. Microsoft announced what theirs is, and if they can come in at $399 underneath Microsoft's $499, maybe they can steal away the show. That would be quite amazing, honestly. But I think we will see the price. I think that, like Fred mentioned earlier, that they are going to talk about PlayStation Plus and the new perks that will be happening with the PS4. Maybe the additions that they're going to be bringing to the Instant Game Collection, if there will be right off the bat for PS4. And another thing that I think that they will talk about, that I'm predicting, and I'm kind of going out on a limb with this one, is maybe a subscription service for something like Gaikai for streaming games. They had talked about in the PlayStation 4 reveal how you could possibly stream, the entire library of PlayStation titles all the way back to PS1 if you wanted to. Once that service got up and running. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring up Gaikai again, and when they do bring it up, I think that they may mention something about a subscription service, and maybe like a yearly subscription or a monthly subscription, or maybe like a PlayStation Plus that'll be like, PlayStation Plus, with Gaikai included. And I'm really excited to see what they do with that, because that'll add just so much more value to what is already quite a valuable system.
PlayStation Double Plus? Come on! No, they should call it PlayStation Double Plus. As far as prices go, I think we're going to see one model. Like, I have to stick to, I can't say now we're going to have tiered models, because I already kind of dug myself a hole. We're going to see one model. I think my original prediction was $499, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say $399. That's it. One unit, $399. I also think, as far as price goes, like Jacob mentioned, another subscription service, I think we might see something like that, maybe. I doubt you're going to get a lot of extra TV stuff like you're seeing with the Xbox. I think you're going to see more streaming compatibility with your Vita. Maybe they're going to offer more cloud, whatever. But I feel like a lot of stuff's already given to Plus. So maybe one of their announcements is just going to be that PlayStation Plus members' accounts will roll over into PS4, and you're not going to really have to worry about it. But they're going to probably issue like the backwards compatibility through streaming, through Gaikai. I think we already know that. They might touch on it a little more today. I kind of hope that they don't touch as much on the streaming and all that stuff. I kind of just want to hear some prices. I wouldn't mind seeing a lot of games and maybe a couple new IPs I'm really looking forward to. As far as one thing price-wise Jake didn't really touch on, I wouldn't be surprised if the Vita gets a price cut in America here. And they might announce that, and even the PS3 might even get a price cut. I think there's going to be some price cutting going on. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Okay, so the last prediction that I have for the Sony press conference for E3 2013 is that they're going to probably talk at least a little bit, if not a lot more, about what they're going to be doing with the PlayStation Eye. They mentioned it, I think it's called the i2 or whatever the heck they're calling it now. They brought it up at the reveal. They talked about it a bit. They didn't really talk about it a lot, not nearly as much as Microsoft talked about the Kinect. So I think that we're going to see a lot more about it. I do not suspect that we're going to see the kind of complexity that Microsoft is bringing to the table with controlling the Xbox with the Kinect, with like all the voice commands and stuff. But I do think that Sony is going to have their own bag of tricks in terms of the way that the PlayStation i2 is used and how it can control the system and stuff like that. So I believe that we're going to see a lot more on the PlayStation Eye and how it's going to be integrated into games. Not over-integrated, hopefully. Hopefully they don't force move functionality or eye functionality or any of that crap on us. But hopefully it will. They will come out and they'll show us more about it, some more complex features that it has, maybe to compete a little bit with what Microsoft is bringing to the table with the new Kinect.
All right, Jake's talking about the PlayStation Eye. Well, there's one thing that I would like to see, and I know a lot of other gamers out there want to see. I want to see the console. We're going to see it tonight. That's a prediction of mine. We're going to see the console. I am curious to see the Eye, see how that's going to set up with your TV and stuff. I don't have one. What it's going to look like. Is it going to be long? Is it going to be tiny? What's going to happen? Really excited about that. But, I mean, on the whole, I think Sony's got the upper hand here. Microsoft had a good few games they showed. A couple games I thought were really neat. Real quick, just a couple standout ones I saw. I kind of like the idea of the Rise game, Son of whatever, Rome. And there was a couple. I wasn't too big of a fan of Titanfall from what I saw. But regardless, Microsoft came out with some games. So I think Sony's end game should be, here's the console. Here's a ton of other cool stuff that we're going to throw at you that we haven't even talked about yet. Here's how it's going to integrate with Vita. Oh yeah, Vita's getting a price cut. And not only that, your PlayStation Plus is going to roll over, and here's a ton of games you didn't know we were making. And they'll just take it away. So let's see what happens, dudes. Alright, so here's the deal. The conference is about to start, and we're watching the IGN live stream actually, and they're saying maybe some Grand Theft Auto 5, maybe more Destiny. We don't really know what they're going to show. Greg Miller did mention Uncharted 4 maybe dropping in there. He thinks it might happen. It's a good sign. Jake?
It's an interesting question.
Alright. I'm going to keep you posted. If anything crazy happens while we're watching this, you better believe I'm going to film it. Alright, peace. Alright, so we're at Jake's, and the PlayStation conference has started.
We think, maybe.
And Jake's internet miraculously went out right at 9 o'clock, and we didn't realize. We're like, what's going on? Why isn't anything showing up? Do you have internet?
Doesn't look like it.
Sony shut down the internet. This is unbelievable. We'll be back to you in a second. We're going to get this figured out. This is how we're watching the press conference. Because the internet fucking broke. This is unbelievable. P.S. This is not awesome, Jake.
It is not.
It's like 30 minutes into E3 presentation.
Fuck Armstrong cable. That's what I have to say.
We missed so much. We have no idea what was even said about Vita or anything, or if they showed Uncharted. They're showing the PS4 right now. It's pretty tiny.
The product designer, Sony'S,
Looks awesome.
and
This is Jake from PS This Is Awesome. Fred and I just got done watching the PlayStation 4 event. I'm very tired, thanks to a very stressful beginning to the event. My internet decided to take a massive shit right as the event started. Literally right as it started, my internet just died. And so we were fighting with it. We finally got back into the event and started streaming it right about the time they wrapped up with the Vita and the PS3. So we got into the PlayStation 4 stuff. We saw a lot of what we expected to see. A lot of Second Son, Knack, Drive Club. We saw PlayStation Plus was confirmed to roll over into PS4 along with your PS3 and your Vita subscription, which is amazing. They talked more about Gaikai. Surprisingly, something that they announced that really blew my mind is that Gaikai is going to be available for PS3 and Vita as well as PS4, which is fucking incredible. That you could do that. It's not just PS4 technology. It's going to work on all three platforms. Another thing that really blew my mind, didn't expect whatsoever, Elder Scrolls Online coming to consoles, probably both, but they've announced it so far. It's coming first exclusively to PlayStation 4, which is amazing because that's going to be a huge fucking hit. It's gonna drag in a lot of people. They basically came out and they took a few pot shots at Microsoft saying things like used games will be supported, no online connection required, no connection required. You don't have to check up on your internet connection at all. Your PlayStation's not going to stop working because you didn't check onto the internet the last 24 hours. They basically came out and just said, you know, like at the end of the conference, Jack Tretton and company just came out and they just said, pretty much, suck it, Microsoft. We're just going to go ahead and do what we do. And at least with our first-party studios, all used games are going to be supported. You know, you're going to be able to lend your games out. No, you have to give your game to a friend and it only works once. No, you know, checking up with your internet connection. Nothing. I don't know. That, to me, was the best part of the presentation. They came out, they confirmed PlayStation 4 will be available for $399, which is what I expected, what Fred kind of expected. So that, all I have to say, has been confirmed, what we kind of expected, and that is incredible. I don't really know what else to say at this point. I'm exhausted. It was good. I will say I have to give it to Microsoft. I do think that their presentation was a little bit better. But Sony came out and really hammered it home with their PlayStation Plus stuff, their price point on the PS4, their support of used games, their not requiring an online connection. One thing I do want to bring up, Fred will probably talk about it, they kind of slipped in there that you might be required to have PlayStation Plus in order to play games online, but we don't know that for sure. We'll bring you more information on that soon. But for now, that's pretty much all I have to say about the conference. It was pretty cool. I'm pretty excited, and I cannot wait to hear more about the PS4.
All right, everything Jake said. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so pretty much, Jake made a lot of good points. Yeah, pretty intrigued. I like the price point. I think that's good. I don't think they told us when it's coming out. I think Microsoft came out and said November. I don't think Sony ever gave it a month even. I think they just said this holiday season. They didn't really say. So maybe the Xbox One might be coming out before the PS4. Who's to say at this point? Extremely disappointed that there was no Uncharted 4 blurb, nothing. I think that game might be gone. I think it may never happen. I'm getting a little nervous here. Naughty Dog has a lot on his plate with The Last of Us, but I mean, you could have said something to get people still jazzed about it. What else? I hope that Tom Clancy game, the something, forget what it's called, they showed earlier. Ubisoft came out and talked about it. Looks amazing. I was hoping to see maybe a little bit more of that on the PS4. Nothing of the like. I think they had a good, strong showing. Sucks that Jake's internet broke down. They said that the Vita was going to be paired. There was going to be a Walking Dead bundle with the Vita, which sounds really cool. Vita's going to go out to the Walking Dead. That's exciting. I have the collector's edition on the PS3, so I probably won't play it on Vita. Anything else that I know that we missed for sure? Doesn't seem like it. Drive Club is coming for free to the PS4 as a PlayStation Plus instant game, which is awesome. So day one of getting the PS4, if you buy yourself a game, let's say you go buy, well, Infamous Second Son doesn't come out, I don't think, till February 2014. But if you buy yourself a game, you can go home and you can have Drive Club and download that and play it while it's downloading. So a lot of cool things, and I think that's about all I have to say. Don't forget to check out our podcast. We have a podcast. It's called PS This Is Awesome. See it on the hat. Just go to our Podbean site. It's psthisisawesome.podbean.com. Look us up on iTunes. We do the show every week. Mondays, we even live stream it. So check it out. If you guys are looking for more PlayStation stuff, you like the conversation, it's a good place to find it. Until then, we'll see you guys later.